we see that you are one of the righteous. He said, no food is served to you, but I have informed you about it before you have received it. That is some of what my Lord has taught me. I have forsaken the tradition of people who do not believe in God. And regarding the hereafter, they are deniers. And I have followed the faith of my forefathers, Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob. It is not for us to associate anything with God. This is by virtue of God's grace upon us and upon the people, but most people do not give thanks. O my fellow inmates, are diverse lords better, or God, the One, the Supreme? You do not worship, besides Him, except names you have named, you and your ancestors, for which God has sent down no authority. Judgment belongs to none but God. He has commanded that you worship none but Him. This is the right religion, but most people do not know. O my fellow inmates! One of you will serve his master wine, while the other will be crucified, and the birds will eat from his head. Thus the matter you are inquiring about is settled. And he said to the one he thought would be released, mention me to your master. But Satan caused him to forget mentioning him to his master, so he remained in prison for several years. The king said, I see 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, and 7 green spikes, and others dried up. O elders, explain to me my vision, if you are able to interpret visions. They said, jumbles of dreams, and we know nothing of the interpretation of dreams. The one who was released said, having remembered after a time, I will inform you of its interpretation, so send me out. Joseph, O man of truth, inform us concerning 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, and 7 green spikes, and others dried up, so that I may return to the people, so that they may know. He said, you will farm for 7 consecutive years. But whatever you harvest, leave it in its spikes, except for the little that you eat. Then after that will come 7 difficult ones, which will consume what you have stored for them, except for the little that you have preserved. Then after that will come a year that brings relief to the people, and during which they will press. The king said, bring him to me. And when the envoy came to him, he said, go back to your master, and ask him about the intentions of the women who cut their hands. My lord is well aware of their schemes. He said, what was the matter with you, women, when you tried to seduce Joseph? They said, God forbid. We knew of no evil committed by him. The governor's wife then said, now the truth is out. It was I who tried to seduce him, and he is telling the truth. This is that he may know that I did not betray him in secret, and that God does not guide the scheming of the betrayers. Yet I do not claim to be innocent. The soul commands evil, except those on whom my Lord has mercy. Truly my Lord is forgiving and merciful. The king said, bring him to me, and I will reserve him for myself. And when he spoke to him, he said, this day you are with us established and secure. He said, put me in charge of the storehouses of the land. I am honest and knowledgeable. And thus we established Joseph in the land, to live therein wherever he wished. We touch with our mercy whomever we will, and we never waste the reward of the righteous. But the reward of the hereafter is better for those who believe and observed piety. And Joseph's brothers came, and entered into his presence. He recognized them, but they did not recognize him. When he provided them with their provisions, he said, bring me a brother of yours from your father. Do you not see that I fill up the measure, and I am the best of hosts? But if you do not bring him to me, you will have no measure from me, and you will not come near me. They said, we will solicit him from his father. We will surely do. He said to his servants, put their goods in their saddlebags. Perhaps they will recognize them when they return to their families, and maybe they will come back. When they returned to their father, they said, "O father, we were denied measure, but send our brother with us, and we will obtain measure. We will take care of him." He said, "Shall I trust you with him, as I trusted you with his brother before? God is the best guardian, and he is the most merciful of the merciful." And when they opened their baggage, they found that their goods were returned to them. They said, "Father, what more do we want? Here are our goods, returned to us. We will provide for our family, and protect our brother, and have an additional camel load. This is easy commerce." He said, "I will not send him with you, unless you give me a pledge before God that you will bring him back to me, unless you get trapped." And when they gave him their pledge, he said, "God is witness to what we say." And he said, "O my sons, do not enter by one gate, but enter by different gates. I cannot avail you anything against God. The decision rests only with God. On him I rely, and on him let the reliant rely." And when they entered as their father had instructed them, it did not avail them anything against God. It was just a need in the soul of Jacob, which he carried out. He was a person of knowledge inasmuch as we had taught him, but most people do not know. And when they entered into the presence of Joseph, he embraced his brother, and said, "I am your brother." Do not be saddened by what they used to do. Then, when he provided them with their provisions, he placed the drinking cup in his brother's saddlebag. Then an announcer called out, "O people of the caravan, you are thieves." They said, as they came towards them, "What are you missing?" They said, "We are missing the king's goblet. Whoever brings it will